Warren, pretty impressive performance up front. Do you think you've sent a bit of message to the All Blacks after their big win against Samoa?
I don't know. We haven't really been. It's been all about ourselves, and it's been about ourselves improving from game to game, and up against every match is absolute quality opposition, and we're learning from those experiences, and benefiting from the opposition that we're playing against. So again, another step up tonight, and really good performance for a number of those players that played against the Crusaders last week too. So. In terms of the All Blacks, we'll start thinking about him a little bit more this week.
Right. Warren, you've made quite a deliberate effort to be quite respectful and everything since you got here. Have you been disappointed with the tone of some of the things that have been coming out of the All Black camp in the last week or so?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I was surprised a little bit at Steve Hansen in terms of, normally he's pretty calm and stuff, and he's been doing a lot of press conferences in the last couple of weeks. So I can only take that as a sign of respect that he's potentially a little bit worried. They arranged a pretty quick game against Samoa, and if you saw the first 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes last night, they looked a bit rusty. They needed that. Obviously outstanding in the second half. And the only thing I can take from that is, it's unlike Steve. Maybe he's a little bit worried about potentially how good this team could be. We know we've got a big step up playing against the All Blacks. But all I can say from our point of view is that this could be a great rugby series. It could be fantastic, and everyone could get excited about it, because wherever we've been in New Zealand, the hospitality, the welcome from the public has been absolutely brilliant. I couldn't speak high enough of that. I think that the off-field stuff, some of the stuff that people have been saying, I think to me puts a bit of a dampener on the tour, but it's professional sport now. You've got to live with that and deal with that and move on. So it's not anything that it's been worrying for us. It's just something. All I've taken from it has gone, maybe he's a little bit more worried than he normally is, because he's normally so calm and collected, but he's seemed to be saying and delivering a lot of comments about us and about things that he knows or doesn't know about. So I think that's normally a sign of a man who's just a little bit worried.
Warren, it's been suggested repeatedly this week that the camp is about to split in two, divided, unrest, etc. Did that performance give a kind of response to that everyone's all in together?
In terms of who suggested that?
It has been suggested by Steve Hansen.
I thought I just explained Steve Hansen then. So, look, there's no way that we've divided into two. We've got a big game on Tuesday night against the Chiefs. I look back on 2013, and we made, between the first and the third test, there were nine different selections. So, the players who, for whatever reason, may not be involved in the first test, you've got to stay alive. You've got to stay in it, because you might get a chance in the second or in the third test. And we've said all along it's about preparing and learning from the games, warming up, but it's all about the test series. It's about winning the test series, and that's what we're here to do. And I said, look, if we drop a couple of games on the way, we could live with that as long as we showed improvement, as long as we benefited from the time together. And I think everyone's got to be excited for potentially what could be a great test series. And we've been written off, and I think that's just apart from people saying that splitting us, I actually brought us closer together as a group. The harmony and boys singing in the change rooms just before. You see the guys and who weren't involved tonight on the touchline and what it means to them in terms of the whole squad. So, we're very, very close. So if Steve Hansen knows what's going on from outside, then he's a much better man than I am.
Warren, can you walk us through what you're able? Sorry, over here. Can you walk us through what you're able to do so successfully in that second half that shut out the Maori All Blacks, and you enjoyed nearly 90% possession in territory?
Yeah, it was a good. We looked at a few things at half time. There was a couple of stupid penalties in the first half that were costly. I think we only gave away one penalty in the second half. I thought our game management was excellent, in the second half. We probably played a little bit too much between the tens in the first half when the conditions weren't right, and it's hard to get sort of forward momentum, particularly early on in a game because everyone's so pumped up and fresh. And in the second half, I think we went there and we squeezed the life out of them, and we squeezed it up front, and we created got them behind them and created some opportunities. And so, it was a pretty clinical performance. And the thing about when you're playing at night games, you've got to play the conditions. It is slippery out there. I thought defensively, when you look at the quality of the attacking quality of their backline, and speaking to the players afterwards, they didn't feel under any pressure at all. They didn't feel like the Maori were able to stress them at all, and their one try is really from a speculative kick that's got a lucky bounce. So. We can be pretty proud of that performance, but we know to play the All Blacks and beat the All Blacks there's got to be another step up, and hopefully we'll see that in the next week. Johnny.
Warren, there's been a lot made about the call-ups, and obviously the factor that you've picked them on where they are in the world. I mean, can you just clarify that? Ian McGeechan said that this is something that shouldn't determine if you wear a Lions jersey or not. There's obviously Joe Launchbury, who's had a great season, all of these kind of guys.
Yeah, look, I understand the concerns, and we did that in 2000 and pretty similar in 2013 in terms of some of the call-ups. And the thing is, we could have made some of those decisions earlier last week, but we waited until after the Highlanders game before we sat down as a coaching group and looked at the players potentially come in and players that we're looking to sit on the bench as cover, so that the best chance, as I said, it's all about the Test series. It's about giving the 23, and some players are going to have to back up. They're going to have to be involved on Tuesday and Saturday, but giving most of those players the best week's preparation for the first Test. I just don't think you're able to back up and prepare for Tuesday and then try and turn around and win the game game on Saturday. And like I said, it's all about us doing that for the best opportunity for the first Test. We did that in 2013, and I have no doubt that it was one of the reasons we won the Test series, because we gave players a chance and we gave that Test team a chance to win the first Test. And if we hadn't have done that, we could have easily lost that series. So.
Does it devalue the shirt though?
Does it devalue the shirt? Well, you're only a Lion when you get on the field, and there's a few of those players that were, probably unlucky that they weren't, potentially in contention in the first place. So we've picked up a couple of injuries. In terms of devaluing the shirt, like I can see some people's point of that, but we're here to win a Test series, and it's about guys covering, not travelling halfway around the world. We found it difficult in the first 10 days when we were here, in terms of jet lag and time differences and stuff. And the players coming from Auckland last night and from Australia, will be able to fit quickly into that time zone.
Gavin, please, and then Charlie. Thank you.
Yeah, Warren, what were the key areas of the performance tonight that you felt there was a big step forward from the Crusaders' victory?
I think we built on the Crusaders' victory. I thought tonight, in terms of the scrummaging, was very, very solid, and we've had to adapt to how the Southern Hemisphere play or scrummage. And we've been working on that, and we had been working on that before at the start of the tour. And line out wise, again, we were good, defensively strong. So look, I just think the basics, the elements of that, and we seem to put them. We were much better in the air as well in terms of the control of the aerial game as well, and it does help when your goal kicker kicks 7 out of 7 or 8 out of 8, whatever it was. So very, very pleased with that, and again the impact of the bench gave us some momentum as well, and the guys coming off the bench, and I thought they had some strong displays too.
Charlie and then Stephen Jones, please.
Peter, Steve Borthwick has been saying this tour that you guys need to become the best pack in the world. How close do you think you're getting to that? How much more do you guys need to produce for the All Blacks?
Yeah, look, I think as Warren said, we're building on performances. We're building on Saturday and Tuesday games, and I think tonight was another step forward towards what our goal is, and obviously that is, you know, to beat the All Blacks, you're going to have to be the best in the world, and we don't have a huge time frame, but I think we're using our time well. I thought we used tonight well. I thought our set piece was good, but there's always room for improvement. You know, there's a lot of things we can work on, and we'll go back to the video and we'll have a look at those things, and we'll kick on into Tuesday.
Stephen Jones and then Lauren, please.
Warren, you mentioned the difficulty of coming in on a 2 or 3 day jet lag turnaround for the first game. You slightly angry that the England coach, who's 13-hour journey away, not even in Buenos Aires but is up country, is telling you that you should bring some of those guys over after the experience that you've had in at the start of this tour?
Oh, I'll let Eddie do his own talking. He can do plenty of it. So, look, we've made the decision that we think is the best decision for us. You know, and I understand Eddie's concern and people's concern, but well, his point, I suppose. But look, I just know how difficult it is doing that travel. You know, from Argentina, it's not as if you're in Buenos Aires. You've got to get here and get around the world and acclimatise. And you use past experiences for that. Christian Wade came in last time and arrived, I think, the day before, and the travel he had to, you know, he was just, you know, he sat on the bench and came on, and it was obvious that the travel had an impact and affected his ability to play. So, and for us, it was a time frame. Was having look to see how the Highlanders game went, you know, what injuries we possibly would have, and how we would cope with that, and then looking to make what we thought was the right decision for
Lauren,
us.
Please.
Just a word on Ross Moriarty, Warren. You mentioned you picked up that back spasm on a car journey down to Whangarei.
No, he picked it up in the match.
But generally, how disappointed are you to lose him, and how grateful are you got someone like Faletau who's making that number 8 jersey his own now? Yeah, no, look, it's you know, Ross is, you know, very, very disappointed that his tour's over, and he's, you know, picked up that injury in the first game. The physio's doctors, you know, they've said it's a very unusual injury in terms of that the nerve being pinched in the leg, and I thought again Faletau was outstanding tonight. I thought his footwork and kickoffs and stuff was excellent, and you know he seems to be a player that's getting better game by game, and obviously the experiences of 2013 have helped him in terms of you know, self-belief and confidence, and you know, from being a part of the last tour. Alex,
Warren, can you give us an update on Owen Farrell's injury and how close Sam Warburton is to being 100%?
Sam's fine. He's you know, we wanted to get him to get some game time tonight, and you know, we're hopeful that Owen's going to be okay as well. You know, it's precautionary leaving him out. At a pinch, he probably could have played tonight, but you know, the ground's quite heavy, and we saw, you know, a number of players at half time, sort of tight hamstrings, tight groins and calves and stuff, just how heavy the ground was. So you know, we were trying to manage them, and for us it wasn't, you know, it was important that we didn't take the risk in terms of trying to put him out there. 2 more please. Rory, Chris Jones, the final one please.
Peter, just you got a bit of treatment before you come off. Is everything okay? And just how was the experience of captaining the Lions?
Yeah, all good. Look, hugely honoured. It's an incredible feeling to get picked for the Lions, and you know, you get any jersey, it's an incredible feeling, and then to get the opportunity to run out first is a huge honour, and I enjoyed every moment of it. Obviously, a huge deal for my family as well. So it was nice to get the win as well. Obviously, most importantly, I thought the pack were very good. I thought the set piece was good as well. So it was happy days.
Final one, Chris Jones, please.
Warren, just on the call-ups, a lot of your players in this squad have worked extremely hard to be Lions. Are any of them going to look around at the guys that have come in and think they don't deserve that call-up?
I don't know. You'll have to ask them individually. I mean, there's something that we'd planned right from the start, and had informed everyone, or the coaches, that this is what we were looking to do, and it was just about the personnel. So look, I understand it's difficult when you're so far away from, you know, when do you bring people in and do that. They're going to be with us for a week. That's it, you know, and they're there for bench cover, and they understand that's the way it is in the role. And like I said, my job is to win a Test series, and I'll do whatever it takes to do that.
Thank you very much.